Two of my other dreams were very vividly about intentions and setting intentions, and how a lot of times I push myself away from intentions because I confuse them with goals. And I'm like, no, I can't, I don't want to set goals because then I'm limiting myself to this, 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 and this. And if I don't reach my goal, and even if I do reach my goal, it's not going to be good enough. And then I woke up this morning and there was an article in my email about setting intentions. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to revisit my idea about intentions. And I was thinking about the difference, because at first I was thinking that intentions are just a euphemism for goals. But actually, intentions can be much more abstract. Intentions can be something as simple as, I would like to be happy. I would like to find healing. I would like to be more flexible. These are these open-ended ideas of, I don't really know how I'm going to get there. I might have some ideas of things that I'm going to do, but there are things that I would wish, things that I would intend. You know, I have the intention of changing the societal norm of how we interact with each other and in what we put value. I have no idea how I'm going to accomplish that, but it's an intention that I have for my life. And in the same way, can we set intentions for our practice without setting goals? Can we put that intention of, I would like more flexibility, I would like more strength, but not setting it as a goal of, well, I'm going to do yoga every day for 90 days, and at the end of the 90 days, I will be stronger. Or at the end of those 90 days, I will be more flexible. Can we instead leave that open-ended intention of, this is something that I would desire, and now I want to discover how to achieve that. And I think that that leaves, because when we get stuck in the specificity of goals, we oftentimes get stuck in the specificity of goals. And we start to think, oh, I have to do this, 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 and this to get there. And often will leave us with less exploration and less surprise. So why don't we try to find a little surprise today and see what's there, and see what happens if we can, like this little speech that I'm giving right now. All I knew was that I was going to talk about intentions, and so many other things while I was talking I discovered and I found. And so let's see what we might discover in our practice today when we can set an open-ended intention. So, finding a comfortable seated position, letting the spine be nice and long, closing the eyes. Notice any goals that you might have right now. Any set determinations of, I need this. And if you have any of those, then take a huge inhale in, inhaling in any of those needs, wants, and desires. Holding the breath. And open the mouth and exhale them out. Transfer the breath to just the nose, letting the inhales be long, the exhales be easy. Relaxing the shoulders back, reaching the crown of the head a little higher. As you inhale in, let the belly fill up, the diaphragm, that space right below the ribs. Exhale and push the belly button back towards your spine, pushing out all that old stale air. Take a few deep inhales and deep exhales like this. And then see if you can find an intention for your practice. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to find it during your practice. It might be after your practice, it might be tomorrow. Say you set an intention for finding a little quieter mind. Well, your mind might be going crazy during this whole journey, and it might be running around. You might find yourself more frustrated than usual. It doesn't mean that your intention isn't still there. It doesn't mean that you can't find it in Shavasana afterward, 3 hours from now. But I think that's the interesting thing about intention, is that when we set an intention, it requires patience. Because we can't know when an intention is going to manifest. So whatever that intention is, I'm going to approach it with patience and kindness, and then place it straight up above your head. And on an inhale, reach the arms out and up, reaching for that intention. Pull the palms together, exhale that intention down in between your eyes to the third eye. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. Place the palms down, roll up over your knees, and come into downward facing dog. Really spreading the fingers, wrist creases toward the front of your mat, relaxing the heels down, slightly engaging your low back to get your sit bones a little higher. Pull your ribs in if they're trying to reach down toward your toes by slightly engaging the core. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga, shoulders way out over the fingertips, still pressing down with the tips of the fingers. Inhale right back up to plank. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga, elbows in, shoulders way out. Inhale up to plank. Keep the elbows in. Tuck the pelvis slightly. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. Press down with the tips of the fingers. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up to plank. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Place the forearms down, interlace the fingers except for the pinky. And bend one knee and the other in dolphin, really releasing the calves, releasing the hips. You can really collapse into one hip and the other as you bend the opposite knee. And walk your toes and towards your head, maybe placing the crown of the head down. 1 foot at a time. You can find your way up to headstand if you'd like. Moving slow. Moving with your breath. Otherwise, just keep walking your feet in towards your head. Maybe even gazing up towards your thumbs, engaging all the same muscles required for headstand. Take a few breaths. And slowly find your way down to forearm plank. So walk the toes all the way back. Release the ring finger as well as the pinky. Roll the shoulders back. Pull the elbows in toward each other and back towards your toes. And breathe. Long inhales, long exhales. Feel long through the spine, especially if you are in headstand, Shirsasana. And then place the hips down. Place the palms down, roll the shoulders back. Release the core. Push down with the tops of the feet. Pull the elbows back towards your hips. Gaze up. Releasing down to the earth, bringing the left hand underneath the left shoulder, right arm out to the side. Push down so hard with that right hand that the right forearm comes up off the earth, lined up with that right shoulder, so it's like half of a T on the right side. And then bend the left knee and send that heel up and over. Really pushing down with that right palm so the right forearm comes up off the earth, keeping that right shoulder engaged as well as opening. Either pushing down with that left hand or reach the left arm up and back for those right fingers. And breathe. Long inhales, long exhales. Remembering your intention and breathing a little deeper. And then slowly coming back through center. Take the left arm out to the left side. Push down with that left palm. Right hand under that right shoulder. Bend the right knee. Send that heel up and over. Maybe reach those right fingers up and back. And then coming back through center. Bring your hands underneath your ribs so that they're pretty far back behind your shoulders. Keep your elbows in, and then lift yourself up. And rock from one side to the other, releasing through the hip flexors. And slowly release back down. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift the wrists up, shoulders back, heels up, and breathe. And then bend into your knees, reach back, grab your ankles or the tops of your feet, kick into your hands. Let the chest lift. If you have your ankles, really flex your toes and think about getting your chest a little higher. If you have the tops of your feet, really point in your toes and think about getting your toes a little higher. And then notice if your knees are coming out to the side, pull them back in. Bring your shoulders a little closer. Deep breaths, so much so that maybe you rock slightly. Back and forth. Take one more inhale in, get everything a little higher. And exhale, release all the way to child's pose. Big toes together, knees nice and wide. A few long inhales and long exhales. Reconnect with that intention, whatever it is. Notice if you can apply that intention to your breath. Not worrying about reaching that intention right now, but just letting it be there. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet. Turn the gaze forward. Step or float to the front of your mat. Exhale down, forward fold. Let your big toes be a little closer than your heels. Put a little bend in the knees if there's any pinching in the backs of the knees. Shake the head yes and no. Clasp opposite elbows if you'd like. Rock from side to side. Really release the head, let it be heavy. And then releasing the hands, putting a little bend in the knees. On an inhale, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes. Engage the outsides of the feet and legs to create a little space to slightly tuck the pelvis underneath you. Engage the core. Lift the sternum up towards your chin. Relax the shoulders back. Reach the crown of the head a little longer. Standing in your intention. Just exploring. We often take standing for granted, standing however we may. Consciously standing, consciously breathing. Once again, inhale the arms out and up, feeling long. Exhale, lead with the heart heading down to the toes. Inhale halfway up, hands to shins. And then exhale, release down. Inhale, bend into the knees all the way. Take the fingers up, Utkatasana. Find that nice neutral spot so you're not tucking under, sticking out. Feel the heart getting a little higher as the weight transfers towards your heel, so you feel it in the quads and not in your low back. Relax the shoulders. Breathe through the fingertips. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the right elbow on the left thigh and push down with that left hand. Notice if the right knee starts to come out in front of the left or if the knees start to collapse in toward each other. Engage the outsides of the legs to keep them separate. Bending a little deeper into the knees to open that left shoulder a little more. And start to transfer the weight over toward the left foot. And slowly send that right foot all the way back behind you for a twisted lunge. See if you can open that left shoulder a little more and breathe. And then just as slowly and carefully, bring that right foot back up to meet the left. And then inhale up, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, left elbow, right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Notice if your knees are still in line. And breathe. Bend a little deeper. Open that right shoulder a little more. Transfer the weight over toward the right foot. Slowly send that left foot all the way back. Twisting lunge. Same long inhales and long exhales. Just as slowly bring that left foot up to meet the right. Bend a little deeper, twist a little deeper, and then inhale up, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs, lead with the heart. Rock from side to side, release the head. And then putting a little bend in the knees on an inhale, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Bring the hands to heart center. And then start to transfer the weight over toward the right foot. Find that one spot in front of you in which to breathe. And bring that left foot to the ankle, calf, or the inside of the thigh. Just be sure it's not on the knee. Maybe even reaching down and pulling that foot into half lotus, flexing the toes, letting that left knee head back as the right hip heads forward. And breathe. Find that one spot, that drishti. Start to bend into the right knee. And slowly, either staying in tree or you can reach the fingers down to the earth. And then straighten that right leg if you can. And then bend into the right knee, slowly coming back up. Very nice. Hands to heart center. Bring that left knee up into your chest. Hold on to the left knee with the right hand. Start to reach the left hand back behind you. If you're comfortable here, you can grab a peace grip around those toes and straighten that front leg or stay right where you are. Same deep breaths. And slowly pulling that knee back in. You know that right leg is starting to feel it. Grab the inside of your left foot with the left hand. Start to reach the right arm out in front of you as you kick into that left foot. Find that one spot and breathe. Slowly bring that leg back in and place it down. A little wider than hip distance. Inhale the arms out and up. And exhale down. Bend into that left knee, keep the left hand down, and reach the right fingers up. The more you straighten that left leg, the more you'll feel the opening in the outside of the right. Just release that hip. And then release the hands down. Rock from side to side, release the head and neck. Remembering that intention as you slowly roll up on an inhale. Hands to heart center. Transferring that weight over toward the left foot. Right foot into that ankle, calf, inside of that thigh. Maybe reaching down. Opening that right knee back as the left hip comes forward. And breathe. Find that one spot at which to gaze. Feel the crown of the head getting a little longer, the shoulders relaxed. Bend into that left knee as you start to reach the fingertips down. Maybe straightening that left leg. Same long breaths. And bending into that left knee, slowly find your way back up. Bring that right knee up into your chest. Hold on to it with that left hand. Reach the right arm back behind you. Staying here, grabbing that peace grip. Deep breaths. Slowly bring that knee in. Grab the inside of the right foot with the right hand. Left arm out. Kick into that hand. Slowly release that foot down. A little wider than usual. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, lead with the heart. Bend into that right knee, right hand down, left fingers up. Reminding yourself of that intention. And placing the hands down. Inhale halfway up. And exhale, place the hands, step or float back down through your vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale back, child's pose. Noticing the breath, the foundation. Remembering that intention, but knowing that it'll come of its own volition. And just breathe, finding that patience. knowing that yoga is a practice of trying easy, not of trying hard. Inhale forward to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place it down near that right hand. Be sure the right ankle is right under the right knee. And place the left knee down, untuck the toes. Push down with the top of the left foot so the hips can sink forward, maybe coming up to your fingertips. Rolling the shoulders back. And take a few breaths. Notice if the hips try to open to one side. Pull them back parallel to the short side of the mat. Take an inhale in. Pushing down with the top of that left foot, start to straighten the right leg as you exhale. And flex the right toes. And inhale, rolling forward, roll the shoulders back, shine the heart up, keep pushing down with the top of that left foot. And exhale, rolling back, flex those toes. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale, rolling back. This time you can sit down all the way on the inside of that left heel. Or if that pinches that left knee, bring that heel around. Inhale the arms out and up. Feeling long. Exhale, lead with the belly, heart, chin, and then forehead. Really flexing those right toes. Taking a few breaths. We're still pretty early on in our practice, so don't feel like you have to go to your most extreme. Setting that intention of feeling flexible in that right leg, but not needing it right now. Just letting it be where it is. And slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Come all the way back forward, into the lunge. Go ahead and tuck the left toes. And keeping that left hand down on the earth, inhale the right fingers up. Pulling back on that right heel to engage underneath the right leg, all the way through that hamstring. And breathe. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, place that right hand down. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow, right thigh. Gonna go a little deeper than where we were a little earlier. Maybe reach those left fingers down to the outside of the right toes, right fingers up. Or reach that right arm behind your back. And maybe those left fingers toward the right. Same long inhales and long exhales. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind. Place that left heel down so that your toes are still pointing toward the front of your mat. And then start to straighten that right leg. You can bring the hands to your thigh, your shin, just not on the knee, or maybe down toward the earth in pyramid. Trying to pull that right hip back and left hip forward. And breathe. Long inhales, long exhales. And either staying here or keep those left fingers down and reach the right fingers up. Pushing down with that right big toe. Trying to stack that right shoulder on top of the left. Same deep breaths. One more inhale in. Exhale, place that right hand down. Come up to the ball of that left foot. Bend into the right knee. Take both hands to the inside of that right thigh. Heel toe the right foot out. Either keep those left toes tucked or place the left knee down. Maybe coming down to one forearm and then the other. Maybe letting that right knee fall out to the right side. And breathe. Let that right hip release. Be sure the right knee isn't out over the right toes, but on top of that right ankle. Very nice. Remind yourself of your intention. And allow yourself to be patient. Slowly coming up to your hands. Tuck the left toes if they're not already. Send that right foot back and maybe up. And place that foot down next to the left. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Take a few breaths. Long inhales, long exhale. Remind yourself of that intention. If you're not already there, meet us in downward dog. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place it down near that left hand. Place the right knee down. Untuck the toes. Push down with the top of that right foot. Be sure the left knee is right on top of that left ankle. And just breathe. Notice what happens if you let the belly spill and if you engage the core and try to pull the hips forward. Same breaths. Take a huge inhale in. Pushing down with the top of that right foot. Start to roll back as you exhale, flexing those left toes. Inhale, rolling forward. Notice if the hips try to come out of alignment with that short side of your mat. Exhale, rolling back. Flex those left toes. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward one more time. This time as you exhale, you can head all the way back. Keeping those left toes flexed. Bring the right heel around if you'd like. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale down to those toes. And breathe. Trying to feel a little longer with each inhale. And find something to release with each exhale. Reminding yourself of that intention. With each breath, letting yourself get a little closer. Slowly rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Coming all the way forward to lunge, tuck the right toes. Right hand down, left fingers up. Checking all of that alignment of ankle, knee, hip on each side. Trying to pull that belly button in toward that left thigh. Deep breaths. Know that that right knee is there for you if you need it. Take one more inhale in. And slowly, as you exhale, place that hand down. Inhale yourself up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right elbow, left thigh. Push down with that left hand. Bending a little deeper into that left knee. Maybe reaching the right fingers down outside of that left foot. Maybe that left hand behind your back. And maybe reaching those right fingers under. And breathe. Same long inhales and long exhales. Very nice. One more inhale in. Slowly as you exhale, place the hands down. Place that right knee down and straighten the left leg. Pyramid. Hands wherever you'd like, just not on the knee. Pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Either staying here, or keeping those right fingers down and reaching the left fingers up. Very nice. This was one of my least favorite poses for a very long time. See if you can just breathe a little deeper. Stack that left shoulder a little more. Take one more inhale in. And exhale, place the hands down, bend into that front knee, come up to the ball of the right foot, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Place that right knee down if you need to. Come down one forearm at a time if you'd like. Letting that left knee fall out if you'd like. Just be sure that the left knee is not out over the left toes. Let the head, neck, and shoulders be heavy. And breathe. I've always loved this idea that every 7 years, every cell in our body is replaced. So every 7 years, you get to become a completely new physical human being. So what intentions are you setting for your cells as they're regenerating? Slowly coming up to your hands. Tuck those right toes. Send that left foot back, maybe all the way up. And place that foot down next to the right. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. As you exhale back, if you'd like, you can grab a few extra push-ups. And then head back to child's pose. Giving yourself a little time. Maybe opening the mouth and sighing it out. Letting go of any worries. Maybe even letting go of that intention. Knowing that it'll come with patience. Allowing yourself just to be with your breath. Not worrying about where you're going. Not worrying about what it all means. Just breathing. Inhale, coming forward through tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place it right down in between the hands. Place that left knee down, or that left heel down. And inhale up, warrior two. Tucking the pelvis under, aligning it with the long side of the mat. Right knee right out over the toes. Relax the shoulders. Breathe the fingertips out and away. Right elbow, right thigh. Left arm up and over your ear. Or maybe that right hand down, left fingers up. Or bind if it's in your practice, really pulling those hips over toward the left side, letting the right knee open to the right side. And breathe. On an inhale, head all the way back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, bend a little deeper into that front knee. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach and down, your Trikonasana. Try to pull those left ribs in. Try to align every joint in the body, pushing down with that right big toe. Bring the left hand to the hip. Bend into that right knee, right fingertips out. Gaze down, take the weight forward and up. Maybe reaching those left fingers up, stacking that left hip on top of the right. Maybe floating those right fingertips. Maybe bringing the right hand toward the right shin. Opening that left shoulder a little more. Maybe bending that left knee, reaching for that left foot for full moon to kick into that hand. Find your breath, stopping anywhere along the way. And then bend into the right knee, send that left foot all the way back. Send the right foot back to meet the left, maybe holding it up. Take a huge inhale in. Exhale down to Chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward and through. Place that right heel down. Inhale up, warrior two. You know where we're heading on this side. So I want you to really think about that space in between the poses. Finding that same grace and stability, no matter where you are. Left elbow, left thigh, right arm up and over. Maybe those fingers down, maybe bind. Stopping anywhere along the way to feel that left hip tucking underneath you, left knee out to the side. Breathe. Trying to open that right shoulder a little more with each breath. On an inhale, all the way back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, bend a little more into that left knee. Reach a little more with the fingers. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach, hips back. Left hip tucked under. Your Trikonasana. Aligning each and every joint. Pulling those right ribs in. Right hand, right hip. Bend into that left knee. Left fingertips out. Weight forward and up. Right fingers up if you'd like. Maybe floating those left fingers. Maybe the left hand toward that chin. Maybe bending that right knee for that right foot. And breathe. Stopping anywhere along the way. And then bend into that left knee, place the hands down, send that right foot all the way back. Send the left foot back, maybe holding it up. Inhale in, exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up, exhale back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Notice if your down dog feels a little different than it did at the beginning of our journey. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet, turn the gaze forward, step or float to the front of the mat. And exhale down, forward fold. We spent a lot of time on the hamstrings today, so just let them go. Let them release, transferring the weight toward the balls of your feet, maybe giving the backs of your legs a little rub, even making little fists with your hands, and letting them go. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Turn your toes out and send your hips down. Bring your elbows right into your knees so that you're not collapsing into your armpits. Bring your chest up. Long breath. Now you can either stay here or if you'd like, place your hands down out in front of you. Bend into your elbows. Get your knees up onto your triceps. And one toe at a time, you can find your way up to crow. Or if you're going to stay in the squat, you can reach that right hand out to the right side and left fingers up. Very nice. And left fingers left side, right fingers up. And then everyone bring the hands back to heart center, maybe lightly rocking from side to side. And then place your hips down and roll back, releasing that low back. Straighten the legs out. And then come up to your forearms like you're relaxing at the beach. Let your shoulders relax. Elbows right underneath your shoulders. And then let your head fall back. And then bringing your toes back together, pushing your heels down. Try to get your big toes to touch the earth as your hips lift up into the sky. Reverse forearm plank. Should really engage through the hamstrings. And then releasing down. Slowly come all the way up to seated. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones. So you feel like if you had pockets, your pockets would be reaching back for the back corners of your mat. Inhale the arms out and up. And exhale, lead with the heart heading down for the toes. Grabbing on wherever you can. Inhale. Shine the heart up. Gaze past your toes. Try and get your belly button a little closer to your thighs. And then exhale and round. Inhale up. Get a little longer. Pull a little deeper. Exhale round. Inhale up one more time. And as you exhale, find somewhere comfortable in this uncomfortable position and let yourself be. See if you can release the muscles holding up your head and your shoulders. It may feel rather strange through the spinal cord, but see if you can just breathe through it. After all that work we did on the hamstrings, see if you can let them extend, expand, breathe, find a little space. Keeping the head heavy, ever so slowly rolling back up. Roll all the way onto your back. Let your feet come in toward your sit bones, hip distance apart. Push the heels down, lift the hips up for bridge. Or if you'd like, you can take the hands under your shoulders and push yourself up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Whatever you'd like to find a nice counter pose to that forward fold. And coming up to the balls of your feet, roll down one vertebra at a time. Feel each vertebra make contact. If you're inverting today, take your hands down by your hips, send your feet up over your head. Come into plow. If you're not inverting today, then cross that right ankle over the left. Keeping those right toes flexed, pull that left knee in. Recline pigeon. For those of you inverting, if you'd like, you can take your hands high up on your low back and find your way up. Shoulder stand. For those of you in reclined pigeon, if you'd like, you can release that right hand and place it on the right knee to open that right knee out away from you a little more. And then, as you're ready, cross that left ankle over the right knee and pull that right knee in. Again, maybe releasing that left hand and pushing out on that left knee. For those of you in shoulder stand, find your way back through plow, deaf man's pose, balancing your knees on your forehead, and rolling down. And then everyone pull your knees up towards your chest, reach to the insides of your knees and the outsides of your feet, and come into happy baby. Trying to keep your tailbone down on the earth if you'd like. You can rock from side to side. Maybe straightening both legs, holding onto those toes for a nice wide straddle. And then pulling the knees in. Straighten that left leg out. Hold on to the right knee with the left hand and pull it over the body as the right arm comes out to the side. Maybe straightening that right leg if you'd like, reaching for a peace grip with those left fingers, and or bending that left knee, reaching for the top of the left foot with the right hand. Just slightly different variances for this nice final spinal twist. Maybe remembering your intention, bringing it back into your breath, or letting that intention go and knowing that it'll come when it's supposed to. And then bringing your knees back through center. Hold on to that left knee, straighten the right leg out. Whatever you got on the other side, even out the body. Letting go of any last remnants of needs, wants. Letting yourself just be here with your breath. Wringing out the spine a little deeper for any last resistance. Any last thoughts? And then perhaps your slowest movement that you've made thus far, bring your knees back to center. And then extending out into our final Shavasana. Letting your toes fall away from each other. Turning the palms up if you'd like to receive, down if you'd like to conserve, tucking one shoulder blade and then the other. Releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feeling long through the spine. Long in your breath. Letting go of this physical self that we carry around all the time. All of these cells and molecules adding up to so much weight for which we are constantly responsible, constantly carrying around. Allow that weight of self to no longer be yours. Allow that responsibility to sink into the earth underneath you, to melt, to allow you just to be. Slowly allow yourself to come back to your breath, back to your body. Maybe just slightly rocking from side to side, feeling what it feels like to be back in your body. Maybe running your thumb over your fingertips. Maybe moving your toes. And keeping the eyes softly shut, either staying where you are or slowly rolling onto one side or the other, finding your way back to that same comfortable seated position. And just notice if your breath is coming a little calmer, if your thoughts seem a little bit further apart, and if you can set your intentions without the need of achieving them with specificity. Inhale the arms out and up. Hold the breath. Bring the palms together in the energy of our whole journey. Exhale it all down in between the eyes to the third eye. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Take your time. There is no rush. I just want to thank you all for allowing me to guide you. These are all donation-based classes, so we ask that you honor the suggested $15 donation if you are able. For those of you here at the studio, there's a donation station on your way out. For those of you at home, there's a donation button on your screen. I just want to say thank you for letting me guide you. And I hope that your intentions become more and more achievable as you are able to let go of them. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, week, month, and life. Namaste.